In the 11th century, officials of the Song dynasty printed the first state banknotes lighter than sacks of copper and silver. In the 20th century, the U.S. closed the gold window and paper finally beat metal. How did this happen twice, and why do you still feel the consequences in every transaction today? Metal money feels reliable. It's heavy, tangible value in your hand. But once trade scales up, metal becomes a brake. Weighty, slow, costly to move, vulnerable to clipping and counterfeits. Business needs a new container for value, lighter, standardized, faster. Southern China. Big trading cities, merchants, warehouses, river routes. Merchants don't drag sacks of coins. They leave metal in deposit shops and carry paper receipts. It works, but only on local trust. The state takes the next step. It formalizes official banknotes with rules for circulation, expiration dates, seals, and accountable officials. What changed? First, logistics. One bundle of notes replaces tens of kilos of copper. Second, scalability. The money supply can expand with trade. You don't wait on new mines. Third, standardization. Common designs, common rules, unified bookkeeping. But the risks arrive too. Issuance discipline and anti-counterfeit enforcement become existential. Under the Mongol yuan, paper money takes a bold step from receipts convertible into metal goods to effectively fiat paper. That gives the state room to maneuver in wars and crises. Print now, resource now. But here the flip side appears. Overissuance without an anchor erodes trust and brings depreciation. Lesson number 1 of monetary history. Paper works as long as the institution restraining issuance works and punishes fraud. The material is secondary. The promise behind it is primary. Europe is also tired of heavy coins. 1661. Stockholm, the first European banknotes appear. The startup targets a real pain, replace giant copper plates with thin paper, but mismanages reserves and fails. On the ruins, a new kind of institution arises with better risk management. A few decades later, the Bank of England 1694 evolves notes into a state standard. From handwritten cashier signatures to standardized banknotes with watermarks, serials, and special paper. Paper stops being just paper and becomes a legal contract protected by technology and law. Global trade needs a common language of money. Countries agree currencies are freely convertible into gold at fixed parities. Exchange rates are stable. Upside, predictable cross-border payments, low inflation. Downside, to defend parities, states must tighten belts in slumps. Gold disciplines sometimes painfully. World War I suspends gold. After the war, nations try to return often at pre-war parities that no longer match reality. Deflation, unemployment, bank runs. The desire to keep gold rules collides with the need to save economies. Many states choose jobs and incomes over rigidity and abandon the hard anchor. 1944, the world seeks stability without pre-war rigidity. Enter Bretton Woods, currencies are pegged to the US dollar, and the dollar is pegged to gold at $35 Oz. Crucial detail. Only central banks can redeem dollars for gold. For citizens, money is already fully paper, backed by a state's promise to manage inflation. The world needs ever more dollars for trade and development. To supply them, the U.S. must export dollars and run deficits. But the more dollars circulate, the more people doubt whether each is truly backed by gold at $35. Gold drains out, confidence sags, the contradiction becomes systemic. August 1971, the U.S. President announces no more dollar-gold convertibility. The gold window closes. In that moment, paper beats metal a second time for good. From then on, money is an institutional promise. Central banks and governments commit to price stability and system resilience. Myth. Fiat money inevitably means hyperinflation. Fact. Hyperinflation happens when institutions fail or abuse issuance. Normal policy means inflation targets, transparent data, central bank independence, and fiscal rules. Myth. Only metal creates trust. Fact. In the 21st century, trust comes from rules and process law. audits, reserve requirements, risk controls, international coordination. Myth: metal equals stability. Fact: the gold anchor once prevented overprinting, but it deepened downturns because flexibility was minimal. Banknotes, checks, cards, instant payments, mobile wallets, even central bank digital currency experiments all are interfaces to the same promise. Money is not metal or paper. It's a trust contract living in institutions and daily processes. Paper beat metal twice. First, when the world needed lighter logistics of value. Then when institutions outweighed the material of the coin.